Hello everyone, welcome to another video. We will be solving principles of accounts paper 1, which is about multiple choice questions. As you know, this is your Cambridge ordinary level, O-levels exams, and today we will be looking at October-November 2018 paper 1 variant 2. So please know that this is variant 2. There are other variants, variant 1 and variant 2, but variant 1 and variant 3. But we will be looking at variant 2. So this paper has 30 multiple choice questions, and you have 1 hour to solve that, to attempt the paper. So let's get started without wasting much time, and we will look at how to approach these problems again. So multiple choice 1, which statement about bookkeeping and accounting are correct, right? So there are two things happening here. They're asking you which statement about bookkeeping is correct and about accounting, right? So you see word here, and there are two things, bookkeeping and accounting. So let's read statement 1. Accounting is performed periodically rather than daily. Yes, that is actually correct. So this statement is true. Accounting relies on heavy, accurate bookkeeping records. That is actually true. Bookkeeping includes the preparation of financial statements. No. This is actually false because that's what accounting does. That's what accounting does, right? So that's what accounting does. Statement 4, bookkeeping involves the recording of financial transactions. That is very true. So if you see, statement 2 and statement 4 are very much interrelated. So because bookkeeping is about recording financial transactions, accounting is heavily going to rely on accurate bookkeeping records, because if your bookkeeping is not accurate, then of course your financial statements won't be accurate. So the answer to multiple choice 1 would actually be option A. So 1, 2, and 4, these are the statements which were true or otherwise known also correct, right? So the answer to multiple choice 1 would be option A. Let's look at multiple choice 2. Eva had $4,000 in the bank. She paid a supplier of $575 by check in full settlement of $600 owing, right? So look at this, what is happening, right? Which changes should take place within the accounting equation, right? So they have given you the accounting equation, assets equals to owner's equity plus liabilities, or you can write it here, asset equals to liabilities plus equity, right? So look at the transaction, what is happening. So Ava has $4,000 in a bank. That is actually cash, right? Or bank, which is an asset, right? Which is an asset, right? So she has $4,000 there. She paid a supplier $575 from the bank, right? So bank actually will go down by $575, right? So it will go down by $575. So actually, if you look at it, you have the answer to this question right away. It's actually option C, because there's only one negative $575. Owner's equity plus 25. It's because she had a full settlement of 600. So the liability was of 600, that is settled. So that's why it's minus 600. But because she paid $25 less, you have an equity. She has an equity of $25. Right, so this is always an assets equals to liabilities plus equity. It will always hold true. So in this case, asset is negative 575, and if you sum these two numbers, plus 25 minus 600, you will get negative 575, right? So that's the accounting equation, and that's debit equals to credit as well. So that's the beauty of accounting right there. Let's look at multiple choice 3. Multiple choice 3, Winston returned goods to Hanif, right? So basically what is happening is that Winston purchased goods from Hanif, right? That's what is happening. Which entries will Winston make in his ledgers, right? So for Winston, this is a purchase return, right? So for Winston, this is a purchase return. So what is happening here is like it's a debit entry, right? So the accounts payable will go down. Now Winston has to pay less. Winston has to pay less to Hanif, right? Who is Hanif? Hanif is basically an accounts payable. He's an accounts payable. So if your accounts payable are going down, what do? You actually debit, right? So the correct answer to multiple choice 3 would be option C actually. So debit entry Hanif, and then the credit entry purchases return, right? So that's the correct answer to multiple choice 3, option C. Let's look at option 4, multiple choice 4. What does multiple choice 4 says? ND purchases goods from Charles, right? So ND purchases goods from Charles. Okay, the account of Charles in ND's books for the month of September showed the following entries. For this is for month of September, the account of Charles books. So the account of Charles in ND's book, right? Which document be issued by Charles on September? So 8th September actually a return, right? So this is account in ND's book. That would actually be a credit note. Charles will issue credit note because now ND has to pay less, right? ND has to pay less for returns for the overall multiple choice 5. So multiple choice. Let's look at multiple choice 5. The following amounts were recorded in the bank column of Tamir's cash book in September. They have receipts, payments, and checks. On 30th September, the balance in the bank column of Tamir's cash book was 1265 overdrawn. What was the credit balance on the bank column on the cash book on 1st September, right? So this is basically you have to do a reverse calculation here. So September 1st, you don't know the balance. That's what the question is asking you. Then during the September, you have received money from customers, which is 4,022. Made some payments 4819 and dishonored check of 2516, and then you have a closing balance as on September 30th as 1265. So if you do the reverse calculation here, you would be able to get the answer to multiple choice 5 which would be 212. So the balance on September 1st is 212, and therefore the correct answer to multiple choice 5 is actually option A. And let's look at multiple choice 6. On 30th September 2018, Ahmed's bank statement showed a credit balance of $2,500. Ahmed found that a check issued for $90 and a deposit of $500 had not been included on the bank statement. What was the balance at the bank shown in Ahmed's cash book, right? So this is talking about cash book in this case on 30th September 2018. So balance in the bank statement is $2,500, but what would be the balance in the cash book, right? So in cash book, he would have added the deposit, which is $500, $3,000, and he has also paid the check of $90, so minus 90, and that would come out as 2910. The correct answer to multiple choice 6 would be option C. Let's look at multiple choice 7. So multiple choice 7, on 1st September 2018, Chan owed $10,570. During September 2018, the following transactions took place. Chan sold. Okay, these are the transactions which have happened. Let's look at the question. What was the balance brought down on Chan's account in Tan's ledger on 1st October 2018, right? So now you had to understand what is the role, which role is being played by Chan and Ted, whether they are accounts receivable or they are accounts payable in right? So look at this. You would have to draw a T account in this case. That will give you the balance, the easiest way to do this question. So first you need to understand what is the role each person is playing, right? So who is Chan and Tan's ledger, right? So who is Chan and Tan's ledger? Chan owed $570. So Chan owed $570. So in other words, Chan has to pay $570, right? So Chan actually has to pay. So Tan has to receive. So for Tan, Chan is accounts receivable, right? So for Tan, Chan is accounts receivable, and that's what you need now. Now, actually, what is the balance brought down on Chan's account and Tan's ledger? So in Tan's ledger, Chan is going to be an accounts receivable. So this $570 would appear on the debit side. Then 10 sold goods, right? So there has been a sale, a credit sale for $380. So again, debit side. 10 return goods. Now the accounts receivable is going to go down, which would be on the credit side. 10 paid 10, then again, he has paid him, right? So that's again going to go down, right? So now you would actually total the debit column, total the credit columns, check the difference, and I'm pretty sure you will actually be able to find the answer, which would be $300 debit. To multiple choice 7 is actually option B. If you have done this correctly, then you would be able to get the answer as option B. Let's look at multiple choice 8. So multiple choice 8, Lisa is a credit customer of Daniel. Her account in Daniel's ledger showed the following entries. On 10th August, Lisa returned goods list price $140, subject to 20% freight discount. What is the debit balance on Lisa's account after this transaction, right? So just look at this, what will happen. Simple steps that you need to follow. There's a simple return of goods, which the price of the return of goods is $140, but there was a 20% trade discount, right? So you will take 20% trade discount. Now you will get X dollars here, right? Or you can simply take 80% of the price. I would say take that 80% of the price. So 140 times 0.8, that will give you a dollar number, right? So now you need to deduct this dollar number and also minus $10. That will actually give you a balance. That will actually give you a balance. Now that balance would come to, as if I do, okay, so that should be $178. $178. So the correct answer to multiple choice 8 would be option C, right? So 300 was the total sales minus the returns minus the opening balance, the credit opening balance. You will get $178. It's the final debit balance as your answer, option C. Let's look at multiple choice 9. Multiple choice 9, Seema's financial year ends on 30th September. She rents premises at a monthly rent of $2,000. During the year ended 30th September 2018, she paid $26,000 in rent. Which journal entry will Seema make on 30th September 2018 to transfer the return to the income statement, right? So actually, so basically on 30th September, year end is 30th September, $2,000 monthly rent, but she paid $26,000. If you look at it, accounting matching principle says that, you know, only each year's expenses and revenues should be recorded in each year. So 2,000 times 12 would be 24,000, but she has paid 26,000, which actually $2,000 would be prepaid asset. Now to transfer the rent to income statement would actually be the correct answer to multiple choice 9 would be option A, debit income statement and credits rent. That's how you will transfer the rent to income statement. Let's look at multiple choice 10. Multiple choice 10, I will not do the calculation here, but you can do it, and you can also watch another video on how to do these, how to make calculations for provision for doubtful debts on my channel. It's not a difficult problem. It's fairly easy. That's why I'm not going to spend much time here, but I will give you the rationale. What you need to do is actually 70,000. So 70,000 times 0.03, that will give you some number here, and then 73,000 times 0.03. That will give you some number here. Check if it has increased or decreased. Based on that, you will make the entry. But the correct answer to multiple choice 10 is actually option A, which is debit income statement by $90 and credit provision for doubtful debts by $9, which means that, you know, this number is going to be greater. This number, let's call this Y and let's call this X. Y is going to be greater than X in your case. So therefore, and it will be greater by $90. So I can tell you that by looking at the entry. So the correct answer to multiple choice 10 would be option A. Let's look at multiple choice 11. Again, that's a fairly easy question. You should not take more than a minute to answer this. Leori has an engineering business. On 31st May, he received an invoice from AB Machines showing the following. What cost are capital expenditure in Leori's book? right? So it's actually cost of machine and cost of installation. So the correct answer to multiple choice 11 would be option A. So let's look at multiple choice 12. So multiple choice 12, why is depreciation charged on a non-current asset? That is because to charge the cost of using the asset against income, that is a classic definition of depreciation. So the correct answer to multiple choice 12 would be option B. Let's look at multiple choice 13. So multiple choice 13 is Sally bought a non-current asset. It has to be used for 10 years, after which it would have no scrap value. Sally used a straight line depreciation method. Okay, so that means so it's either B or either D, because the annual depreciation charge will stay the same. It won't decrease each year, right? But was more than half a cost? No, it's talking about after 5 years, right? So after 5 years, the life of the asset is 10 years. 5 years are done, 10 years are left. So 0.5, it's exactly 50%. That's half the cost. So the correct answer to multiple choice 13 would be option B. Let's look at multiple choice 14. A draft income statement showed a gross profit of $12,200. It was later found that the carriage on purchases of $260 and carriage on sales of $230 had both been excluded as expenses in the profit and loss section of income statement. Carriage on sales has nothing to do with gross profit. It has carriage on purchases does matter. So 12,200 minus 260, that will give you 11,940. That's your correct gross profit. So the answer to multiple choice 14 is option B. Let's look at multiple choice 15. Multiple choice 15 is a bit tricky one. You would have to pay attention to certain key terms here. Raj is both a customer of and a supplier of Balbir, right? So it's a customer. So Raj is accounts payable and accounts receivable of Balbir at the same time. He's buying goods from Balbir, but he's also selling goods to Balbir. Raj's account in Balbir's sales ledger showed a debit balance of $300. There was a credit balance of $100 on Raj's account in purchases ledger. A contra entry between the two was agreed. Which entry would Balbir make in Raj's account in the purchases ledger? Right. So purchases ledger had a balance of $100 credit, and a contra entry would be $100 debit in the same account. So the correct answer to multiple choice 15 would be option C. Let's look at multiple choice 16. Multiple choice 16 is about how you would classify certain things. Basically, as I can tell, so on 30th August 2018, he purchased a motor vehicle. They're using a bank loan, which is repayable on 30th August 2022, right? So 2018, but took a loan out on 2018, but had to pay in 2020. So it's greater than, so it's about 2 years, greater than 1 year. That means it would be a non-current liability. And there's a bank overdraft, which would be a current liability. So if you look at this, the correct answer to multiple choice 16 is actually option D. Motor vehicle is a non-current asset. Bank loan is a non-current liability because it's due in 2 years' time, and bank overdraft is a current liability. Let's look at multiple choice 17. Multiple choice 17, which may be included in an income and expenditure account. That is 17A, bad debt expenses. Purchases of equipment, no, we do not include that in P&L. Opening balance of bank account, that is not an income and expenditure account. It's not an income and expenditure account. And subscriptions received for the following year as well. It's not on the income and expenditure account. Bad debts is the correct answer. 17A is the correct answer. Let's look at multiple choice 18. So multiple choice 18. A club's financial year ends on 31st July. During the year ended 31st July 2018, the following subscriptions were received. How much would be included in the receipts and payments account for the year ended 31st July 2018? Actually, everything would be included in the receipts and payments account. So it would be 50 plus 304 plus 20. That would come out as 3470. The correct answer to multiple choice 18 would be option D. Let's look at multiple choice 19. So multiple choice 19, a trader does not keep full accounting records. How can credit purchases for his first year of trading be calculated? So to calculate the credit purchases, the trader can take checks paid into the account, checks paid plus discount received, plus the amount owing to suppliers at the year end. So the correct answer to multiple choice 19 would be option A. Let's look at multiple choice 20. Multiple choice 20. A trader provides the following information, right? So what is the markup? Markup is basically gross profit over cost of goods sold. Gross profit in this case is 40,000 and cost of goods sold is actually 60,000. So 60 over 40 should be 60.666%. So the correct answer to multiple choice 20 would be option D. Let's look at multiple choice 21. Which statement about ordinary shares are correct? If a company is wound up of ordinary shares, that is actually true. Ordinary shares are no, that is actually false. That is true. So 1 and 3 is the correct answer to multiple choice 21 would be option A. Let's look at multiple choice 22. Which items are included in equity section of the statement of financial position of a limited company? Ordinary shares, retained earnings, no debentures, no current liabilities. Ordinary shares, retained earnings, debentures, no. Ordinary shares and so the correct answer to multiple choice 22 would be option C, retained earnings and ordinary shares and retained earnings. Let's look at multiple choice 23. During the financial year, a manufacturing company payments included the following: purchase of a new machinery, running cost of the machine. Where would these items appear? Machine would actually appear on statement of financial position, and running cost of machine would appear in manufacturing account. The correct answer to multiple choice 23 would be option D. Let's look at multiple choice 24. So multiple choice 24, which group contains only indirect cost? Carriage and no depreciation of machinery, factory rent, wages of factory supervisors. That is actually correct. So the correct answer to multiple choice 24 would be option C. Let's look at multiple choice 25. A factory employee records his time of arrival and departure each day. Which document is used for recording his hours of work? That would actually be a clock card. 25A would be the correct answer. Payroll register is not correct because that includes who the company is paying. Timesheet, you can confuse clock card and timesheet, but timesheet is actually, you're keeping record of the job. But clock card is something different. It records the hours of work. Timesheet is how many hours you have spent on certain type of job. So that is actually different. And then wage sheet it's like a wage slip, pay slip, that tells you about how much have you earned. So clock card is actually the correct answer in multiple choice 25. So let's look at multiple choice 26. Multiple choice 26 is about which statutory items are deducted from employees' gross pay. That is income tax and social security contribution. So 26D is the correct answer. Of course, employers are not going to deduct charity from your pay slip. That is actually incorrect. So 26D is the best option. Correct answer to multiple choice 27. Let's look at multiple choice 27. What is the rate of inventory turnover? I mean, inventory. Actually, I'm not going to do the calculation here. You can do it by yourself. This is very easy. Should not take much time. But all you need to do is cost of sales over average inventory. And the formula for average inventory is actually you take the opening inventory plus the closing inventory divided by 2. You are giving opening inventory, you are given closing inventory. So 20 plus 18 divided by 2 will give you average inventory. And then you have cost of sales by $42,000. So just put the numbers in the formula above and you will get the answer up as B, 2.21 times. So the correct answer to multiple choice 27 would be option B. Let's look at multiple choice 28. So 28 is a business provided the following information about its percentage of gross profit to sales. This is actually decreasing every time. So this is GP over sales. This is GP margin. This is talking about GP margin. And why it is dropping down? Because cost of sales are decreasing? No, then it should be going up. Because expenses are decreasing, it is not factored in because GP is calculated as sales minus COGS. So the company only has two variables to play with: sales or cost of goods sold. Quantity of goods sold is decreasing. Quantity of goods sold is decreasing. Right. So that is actually nothing to do with it. I mean, it has to do something with it. because that will result, but again, a price is going to, it's talking about only one variable, right? So sales is actually calculated as price times quantity, right? So it's only talking about quantity, but not as a holistic sales. But selling price is decreasing. Now, selling price is decreasing. That actually is a problem. That actually is a problem. So selling price is decreasing, then your sales revenue is actually down, right? So if your sales revenue is down, your GP is going to be down at the same time. So the correct answer to multiple choice 28 would be option D. Let's look at multiple choice 29 and 30, which would be about accounting standards and accounting principles. So business values is inventory at lower of cost and net realizable value, which accounting principle is being applied, that is prudence. The correct answer to multiple choice 29 is option D. It's prudence because, you know, prudence means that you record the expected loss before it is occurred. So what lower of cost and net realizable value does is that, let's say your inventory has a cost of $10, but you can only sell it for $9. So in your financial statements, in your balance sheet, the company can record the inventory at $9 and not at $10. So you're already recording that $1 loss in your company. So that's what actually prudence means. That's why the correct answer to multiple choice 29 is option D, and that's what is the lower of cost and net realizable value principle too. Multiple choice 30, what is the purpose of international accounting standards? To allow users to rely on information in financial statements being error-free. No, that is actually not the purpose of accounting standards. Your statements should be correct irrespective of accounting standards. To enable accountants to get work easily anywhere in the world, that is again actually not true. Accounting standards do not care about accountants at all. That is actually, they don't care about accountants. They care about standards. To enable non-accountants to understand all information in the financial statements, no, if you're not an accountant, it would be difficult for you to understand accounting information, as simple as that. It's like, you know, you are not a doctor, so therefore you cannot treat yourself or others. So if you're sick, you would have to go to a doctor, because only doctor understands the nitty-gritty of what you are experiencing, right? To make it easier to compare financial statements prepared in different countries, yes, that is actually the purpose of international accounting standards. They are trying to do that. So the correct answer to multiple choice 30 is actually option D. And thank you very much for watching this video. If you think this video was helpful to you, please subscribe to my channel for more videos like these. Leave a comment down below so that I can know, you know, what are your pain points, or on what topics you would like to make on what topics you would like me to make videos on, or what topics you would like to see videos on. Once again, thank you very much for watching this video. Please do share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel for more videos like these. Thank you very much.